Minds up, y'all. This is your girl, Takia Diamond. Oh, yes. And it's time to get tuned in and tapped on. I represent, you already know, Minds Up. Personal development author, mindset coach, financial confidence coach, speaker, trainer, a whole lot of things that have to do with helping you transform your life. So today we are going to be talking about signs. How do you know that you are in the vortex? How do you know that you are actually in alignment with what it is that you say that you want, regardless to what it looks like that's going on the outside of you, all right? So here's the thing. How many of you can actually tell when you're in the vortex? If you can tell when you're in the vortex, I want you to say me, or send me some hearts, send me some love. Let me know. Hey, Chantel says she got her book. Ooh, that's what's up. Okay, so can you tell when you're in the vortex? All right, if you can't, I'm about to give you some tips, tools, and juice on how to know when you are actually operating in the vortex. Now, many of you, I'm sure, if you're on my page, you're probably a fan of, or you have heard of Miss Abraham Hicks. And if you are a follower of Abraham Hicks, then you know all about the vortex, right? All right, so for those of you who don't know what the vortex is, let me go ahead and share with you what the vortex is. So the vortex is actually a vibrational state, or like a vibrational reality where things that we want actually exist, okay? So when we identify a desire, or we identify a thing that we want or desire, they come into being in the vortex, okay? So when you're in the vortex, that's when you're actually able to see the physical manifestation of what it is that, you said that you wanted, and, that you are creating in your life. I hope this life is okay. All right. So, and what it is that you are creating in your life. All right. So you got to understand that for every question, there's an answer, right? So for every problem, there's a solution, right? So we identify questions and problems in our day-to-day lives all the time, right? And the answers and the solutions are what? They're generated to us. How are they generated to us? They're generated to us when we're in the vortex. So when you're in alignment with what it is that you're trying to figure out, and you begin to ask the right questions, instead of asking questions like, why isn't this working for me? You should be asking, how can I make this work? Who do I need to be? What steps do I need to take in order for me to be in alignment with that? And what happens is the universe begins to bring to you the answers to the questions that you need in order to have that manifestation show up in the physical. All right. So in order for you to actually get where you want to be, basically the way that the vortex works is it's like a radio dial, right? So you know how I always use the example, the television example, but I'm going to give you the radio example today. So let's just say that, frequency. Everything is frequency. Everything is energy. Everything is vibration, right? So because everything is frequency, energy, and vibration, what ends up happening is when you turn on the radio, when you turn to 97.1, right? On 97.1, they usually are playing what? Hip hop and R&B. Now, if you want to hear jazz music, then you need to get off of 97.1 and tune into the frequency of CD 101.9 where they play jazz at, in order for you to hear jazz, right? And so basically it's the same thing when it comes to your energetic vibration, and the frequency that you are tuned into is what the physical reality of what you're going to see. So it's just like, when you are in alignment and you just kind of bump into people who have the solutions that you need towards what it is that you're looking for or that you've been trying to figure out, or maybe you wanted to do a speaking gig or something, and then someone sends you an inbox message and say, hey, I was wondering, are you available to speak, or whatever it might be, right? All right, so the bottom line is that we have the ability, okay, to tune our radio, meaning you can change the station. So if you're on a station of negativity, of everything going wrong, of victimization, woe is me, then if that's the frequency you're in, that's what you're going to see. That's what's going to be playing out in your life, because life is a movie, okay? But that's a whole nother situation, and we'll talk about that. But at the end of the day, you know, once you tune your frequency into where it is that you desire to be, that is how you change the reality that you see. All right. So let's go ahead and get into a few things of how you can know that you are actually in the vortex. So let me say this first. Dialing into the vortex simply allows us to experience life the way that we want to experience it, right? Because when you're not dialed into the vortex, everything that you don't want shows up. So that's kind of showing you that you're not in a vortex, right? That you're on the wrong frequency. All right. So the vortex is actually the frequency of love. Okay. So if you guys ever, in almost all of my books, I have a vibration and frequency chart, which is available online, right? And on this chart, depending on the number of frequency that you're tuned into is what you are experiencing. So like shame would be a frequency vibration of 20, and love or above, you know, would start at 500, because love starts at 500. So anything above 500 puts you into love, and then you get into enlightenment and all that other stuff. All right. And I know most people say the highest vibration is love, and that's true to a certain extent. But if you go beyond that aspect of who you are, then it's actually enlightenment. So if you didn't know that, I just want to share that with you. All right. So today, what I want to share with you guys again is a few signs that's going to let you know that you are dialed in to the frequency. So let's see if you are dialed in. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to recognize these signs when they pop up. All right. Basically what they are is they're an affirmation from the universe letting you know that you are in alignment and in the mode of receiving things that are wanted. Okay. All right. So the first sign that you are in alignment is you feel good. You feel good. You feel like, you know, everything is working itself out. You know, things are finally coming together, you know, and stuff like that. That's how you feel, right? So our vibrational state, let me turn this down. I feel like I'm screaming. All right. So our vibrational state is easily recognizable by our emotions and how we feel. Okay. So as you guys know, what do I say? What you feel, you make real. What you feel, you make real. Okay. So if you're feeling, you know, elated and you're feeling joyful, then you are in the vortex. All right. The next thing is, like me, having lots and lots and lots of energy. Right? I'm like, where is this girl getting all this energy from? I don't know, but right now I'm high. I'm mad. I forgot to turn the fan on. But anyway. So having lots of energy, right? So energetically speaking, guys, the frequency of the vortex is very, very high. Okay. When you are in the vortex, you will be a lot more energetic and you'll be animated. Like for the most part, you guys always see me animated, right? And that's because I make sure that I'm tuned in and tapped on. And when I feel myself not being tuned in and tapped on, you know, I'll go ahead and get that out, because whatever it is that, you know, coming up is coming up to show me my stuff. I release that. I let that go, right? And then I grow, and then I keep it moving. Right. So, you know, when I feel, you know, a little down, I let it out, but I always stay connected. I go right back and I get connected. OK, and so that's the key is to stay connected. All right. Now, the next thing how you know you're in the vortex is you begin to see in contrast, as Abraham calls it. OK, so The contrast is like, it's like the world just looks different to you. Like, you know, when you look at the ground, it looks much clearer. When you look at the trees, you actually like the color is like extra green. You feel like you could, even though you know you can physically touch it, it's just like the perception of it is just so much more beautiful and rich. You know what I mean? So, you know, when you start to notice that, you know, as you're walking along the seashore, or maybe you come across a body of water, and when you're looking at, you know, at a waterfront or something, and you're looking at the water and you see like the actual like diamond glitters that bounce off of the water from the sun and all of that, right? So that happens when you are in the vortex, okay? Things are shinier and you see a lot more reflections of light, okay? The next thing is kind of what I said already, how the colors are rich and vibrant. So another aspect of reality is that, again, it's just much more colorful, right? The colors in your reality, they appear fuller, all right? They appear richer. And when you are like that, you are actually in the vortex. So by contrast, right, when you decide to be out of the vortex, and I'm saying that you decide to be out of the vortex because it really is a decision, okay? So yes, things are gonna come up, but you have to watch your vibration. You know what I mean? You have to watch your energy. You need to care for your energy, care about how you feel, all right? So don't allow outside things to be the controller of what you feel. Allow your feelings to be the controller of what you see, because what you feel is what's going to begin to project things out for you, okay? So the next thing is recalling like good memories, okay? So you're in the vortex. If all of a sudden, you know, I don't know, maybe you end up having a conversation with somebody and you guys start talking about somebody and you guys start reminiscing on all of the good things that the person did, or all the funny jokes that they used to tell, you know, or things that are positive in nature about them, or just period, you know, talking about positive things and stuff like that. When you think about hilarious memories, like things that really were funny to you, or something that makes you smile, that is a good indication that you are in the vortex. Because when you're in the vortex, you don't have like any worry, okay? Like you're not trying to figure out, you know, what's going on, who's doing what, how they're feeling, or anything like that. Or, you know, you're just in the moment. You're in the present moment. And, you know, being in the present moment and analyzing, being the witness of what's your experience, being a witness of what it is that you're experiencing going on around you. This is what actually allows you to know that whether you are in the vortex or whether you're out of the vortex. All right. So the next thing is, if you start receiving a lot of genius ideas, right? I know this happens with Champagne often. You know, but anyway, I know this is going on YouTube. So anyway, all right. So yeah, so when you start receiving like these really wonderful ideas of, you know, different things that you want to try, and you know, you start saying like, listen, you know, I'm ready to start putting together my courses, or you know, I want to put together this play like Skeeter, right? And you're in this creative mode and you're in this genius mode. Remember, guys, the frequency of the vortex, what happens is it makes you a match to all kinds of good stuff, right? And this includes your genius ideas that you come up with, all right? So if suddenly, you know, you get this genius solution for a problem that, you know, might solve some things in the world that you might have had for a really long time, or you somehow, you know, you come up with this idea that makes your life much more easier and fun and stuff like that, you are in the vortex, okay? All right, so we got 3 more to go. If you start to notice that a whole bunch of favorable things start happening to you, and you start feeling like, oh my God, the universe is on my side, right? So you start feeling like that, you know, and you're noticing one good thing after another begins to come your way, then you are in the vortex, okay? The next thing is hearing your favorite songs. So, you know, if all of a sudden, you know, you hear a song that might be your jam, all of a sudden it comes on and you start turning up, right? You be like, hey, oh, hey, 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 right? So what happens is you get in a vortex because the energy and the vibration of that song, that's your jam, it raises your vibration and makes you feel good. You start to feel, happy, you're hearing your record, and all that wonderful stuff, especially when the song actually plays out the blue. And it could be a song like you haven't heard for a long time. Like, for instance, what's that song? Touch and Go. You just take my love and it, right? That's like an old school house record. But when it comes on, you be ready to jam, right? So, it's the same thing. So when you're, the songs come on and you start to feel good, anything that you really, really love, or anything that, maybe you come across a video or old movie that you really, really like a lot, you're in the vortex, okay? So, and that includes your favorite music, all right? So, last two things is, if you notice that people are being like extra kind to you, and this happens to me all the time, like especially when I'm on the parkway, sometimes people, they move over and they let you, I can always tell when I'm not in the vortex because people are so rude on the road. They are so rude, right? And so I'll be like, okay, I'm not gonna allow their frequency and vibration to affect mine. I'm just gonna slow down and I'm gonna let them go through. You know what I mean? And it'd be so funny because my mate, he'd be like, oh my God, blow the horn, blow the horn. But see, if I blow the horn, now I'm taking myself out of my vibration. That's one thing if I notice danger. But if I know that this person doesn't see me, but I see them, there's no need for me to implement fear into that person. I'm just gonna fall back. I'm gonna let them go ahead wherever it is that they feel like they need to get in a rush to. Whatever, and then I'm going to continue to go where I'm going and get where I gotta go. You understand what I'm saying? So, when people are actually being nice to you, you are dialed into the frequency of love, okay? Even it happens when I go through the toll booth, the people, they're so kind to me, and they always say, oh, you have a beautiful day, and you have a blessed day, and blah, 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 blah. So I be knowing I'm in a vortex. You know what I mean? All right, and so the last thing how you know you are in the vortex is you look good. You look good, and people say, oh my God, like you have this glow about you, like you look fabulous, right? So if you ever catch yourself looking in the mirror at yourself and you're like, you go, girl, right? And you be like, oh my God, I look good, right? You are in the vortex because you are, that's the energy that you've been projecting out. And so now it's beginning to be a reflection of how you've been feeling for a minute, and it's revealing it back to you. Now, let me say this, guys, because sometimes you got to understand that the way that things work is it's almost like, see, I don't want to put the concept of time in your head. I'm just going to leave that alone. I talk to y'all about that another lot because I don't want to drag this out and make this too deep for y'all. But y'all know how TK do. So I'm going to just leave it at that. All right. So when you are actually dialed into the vortex, guys, you are resonating at the frequency of love. Okay. When you're dialed into this frequency, you are going to view yourself in a very loving way, okay? You're not going to beat up on yourself about things you did in the past. So what? It was what it was, and you just keep it moving, right? So what we do is we see ourselves as the beautiful creatures that we really are. It's almost like you start to take a look into your soul, right? All right. And so, and that's pretty much that, all right? So I hope that these signs that I have shared with you today about, how to know that you're actually in the vortex and how to know if you're vibrating on the right frequency in order for you to attract what it is that you wish to attract to you. These are very useful reminders that, as you move forward, when you start to notice these things, you could be like, oh, shucky now. I am in the vortex. And when you are in the vortex, guys, that's the perfect time for you to start putting the things that you desire in there. When you're in the vortex, you start channeling, you know, or visualizing, imagining, and, you know, start picturing, you know, the different things that you actually do want to see in your life. So it's all about your intentions. What do you intend to create? Okay. What do you intend to see within the next 60 days? You know what I mean? Because it's all about your intention. And when you set an intention, you set the standards, and you actually let the universe know that I'm open and I'm ready to know whatever steps that I need to take that's going to get me where I want to be, right? All right. So I hope that this live has helped you. I hope that it has inspired you and encouraged you in a mighty, mighty, mightyful way. I guess I'll definitely show you guys. I know a lot of you guys got the book already. If you don't have the book yet, what are you waiting for? This is my new money mindset guide, and it is changing lives like crazy right now. It's called From Poverty to Profit. And From Poverty to Profit is really, you know, teaching you a whole lot more about money than you thought you knew. Okay, it's going to take you from the beginning of time, you know what I mean, real briefly, but then it's going to take you into strategies that you can start implementing right away to begin changing your money mindset, rewiring your money blueprint, and so much more. So if you don't have this book yet, go ahead to the website, which is www.povertytoprofit.org. Check out all the amazing tips that are there. You know, check out all of the amazing information and all that stuff. I'm over here dripping, and y'all ain't tell me. It's all good. I got like a whole bunch of lights around me right now. So, all right, guys. So, yes, go ahead and get your copy of From Poverty to Profit. You can inbox me if you're in the local area. If you are not in the local area, go ahead online and make your purchase. All right, guys. So remember, you run the world. It's your call. Do what you gotta do. Hey, all right, guys, Transformation Tag Team, I'm out of here. Thank you, Queen Mother, for putting this magnificent team together. And if you are also a transformer, and you would like to contribute your talents and your gifts, you know, with others, so that you know, we can help each other expand our consciousness, then feel free to hit me up, and I will connect you to Queen Mother, and we'll see how we can get you on in this team. All right. All right. Minds up, guys. Big things are going. Have a blessed day. Namaste. Deuces.